All right, if you are a homeowner, there is a very good reason, actually several of them, that you need to get online and Google your address. And our real estate expert, Bryan Garrity, is here this morning to explain some of the reasons why that is. I've done this before, and it is amazing what happens when you just put in your address online and just do a quick search.
It's amazing. The wealth of information that's out there is just, it's phenomenal. And there's a lot of people that don't do that probably should. And it applies to people that are buying, selling, and renting. And I think a lot of people that are selling would probably be the last category that would think about doing it.
Right.
But really, I mean, you really want to know as much facts going into selling your house, having an arsenal, just as the buyers want to know as much
You don't
facts.
want the buyer walking in and surprising you with something that you were not aware of.
Right, or
now,
your agent. One
of the first things that you list here is Google your address to see if someone around you is on Megan's list.
That's correct. And that's become a very hot topic in the last couple of years. And it's not meant to be alarmist, although, I mean,
it is pretty disturbing if you find
it's very disturbing.
If you find there is somebody close by.
There are clusters in San Diego. If you Googled your address, you would just be shocked and probably sickened at how many, registered offenders there are around there. So I say, number one, that's something that everybody should be doing. And if you're selling, just so you have a knowledge base, you should be doing that as well, because more and more buyers are coming in with that type of questions or information in terms of what's the demographics around you.
Now, living in a place, it's a good idea to know what the possible threats are.
It is.
And a lot of folks are very naive about the fact that my neighborhood is very safe because I've never heard of any problems.
Right.
Just because you don't hear doesn't mean there aren't things you need to be aware of.
Right. Well, I live in Carmel Valley, so I think it's pretty pristine. You think there's nothing going on there, but yet they published a local newsletter, and you'll see different things that are happening. So if you go online, you can go your address. You're going to come up with a lot of the different search engines that are on there. Google. You put in your address, come up with Trulia is a popular one, Realtor.com is a popular one. Trulia is a good one for finding out what the statistics are for the kind of criminal activity in the neighborhood. And you want to know that going in. I mean, because don't be fooled. You'd be surprised.
Again, the nicest neighborhoods, in fact, they're more susceptible to certain types of crime. Burglary, for example.
Exactly.
Exactly. You might want to have an alarm on your house if burglaries have been a problem in the area, or always make sure to lock your doors and windows, things of that nature.
Always lock your doors and windows, regardless of where you live.
You should be doing that anyway.
But you're right about the alarm and stuff. That's a good point.
Now, scammers. You want to know about scammers, although this is a thing that a lot of people aren't going to necessarily know about until you explain this to them.
And I think this is what's shocking. So if you ever see something on the internet that's too good to be true, you have an address for rent, an address for sale, and they want you to, I'm in Europe on vacation and I need 6 months in advance, but I'll give you this rental at $900 a month when it's a $4,000 a month rental, or it's $1 million purchase for $400,000. Put a deposit down of $10,000 to send it to my Nigerian bank account.
Right.
And you would think that people wouldn't do that, or that people would understand that's problematic. But I got to tell you, even recently, I heard of somebody actually going through and $8,000 gone.
Oh my gosh!
And the banks don't really have any way to trace this or get these people.
It's gone.
I mean, it's a very sophisticated crime.
Now I want to bust through a couple of these very quickly here, so that we can at least touch on them. It's pretty obvious that you want to know, if you're selling your house, what homes around you sell for, so you know how to place the value. But even if you're not selling, this could have an effect on lowering your property taxes if you know what homes around you are selling for.
That's correct. You should Google your address, and you're going to have a lot of sites, like I said, that's going to give you information, Zillow, et cetera, that will give you a good baseline of what's going on in your neighborhood. And people tend to want to focus on the one house that's the highest sale. That's great. But you need to look that half-mile radius, really that half mile, see what's going on. And you can, once you're on there, depending on what your tax base is, you might be amazed. In your mind, you might think, oh, my house is $500. When you're done doing your search, you find out realistically it's more like $390.
Which is upsetting, except you can use that to get your property taxes lower.
But that you can use it to get your property taxes lower. And that's something we recommend everybody do. Some people think the county does it automatically just so you have right information. They have gone through there like in 2009 and 08, where they were actually going through and beating the people to lowering the assessments. Now it's up to you, the homeowner, again, to get back there and actually file an appeal.
So get them lowered. The last two here, you want to take a look at your home's property records, and you also want to look at the Google Street Views.
Yeah,
and see
those
what
are fun.
pictures are there.
Those are fun. Those Google Street Views can drop you right into the street. You can turn right and left and see. So you know what's, if you want to buy this house on the corner, you know if there's a liquor store across the street or if it's another house. I mean, it gives you some really cool perspective on it. And the property records are so often incorrect. I have so many people, they come, they list their home. It's 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. I've usually pulled the public records before they come in, and I ask them, where did that come from? Because I've got 2 bedrooms, 2 baths. Oh, we added on a half bath, but I know my guy did it with permits or whatever. So that's something you need to check and make sure that you get verified.
Very good. Before we go, I do want to mention to everybody that you've got a very special offer to the first 3 callers. So folks, get those dialing fingers ready right now. Free staging and photos means what?
It means you're going to get high definition photography. 86% of the people starting their search on the internet, they're going to see your photos are going to pop. You get a lot of good comments back. And I have a staging consultant that will actually come in. Some of it might be hurtful, but it's there to get you max dollars for your house. And I'll pay for that, for the stager to come in and go through and consult and help get you to that higher value.
All right, if you're talking about selling your house. Okay, that's for the first 3 callers, and there's the number on your screen. Bryan, always good to see you.
It is.
Thank you so much.
Monday. All right,
same to you.
thanks, Mike.
Good to see you. All right, for more information, go to san diego6.com.